How's it going, guys? Today you'll see that Minecraft is looking a little funny, and that's because I'm not in Minecraft today. Today I'm going to show you how to do a quick setup in Blender and kind of explain just a little bit about moving things around and just the basics to get you started. So anyway, first thing I wanted to show you, I've got a rig that we're going to be working with today, and there's two different ones in there. One is pre 1.8 and one is post 1.8. So basically you can tell, if you look at your skin, you can see these skins here are all 1.8 skins or higher. They're spread out, they're larger, and they're spread out over a larger area. This guy's skin here is pre 1.8. And you can see it's a squattier, smaller skin, and it's all compacted into this small little area. So that's the main way that you can tell. The other way you can tell is if you put your skin on the wrong rig, it's going to look funny and not right. So you can switch to the other rig if it doesn't work. So anyway, let's talk a little bit about the environment here. Basically, you've got these windows. You got this window here. There's 4 of them going on right now. This is my 3D view. This one down here is my timeline. Up here we have a thing that shows the different things in the scene, and then this is the properties window. These windows are all customizable. You can move them about, you can remove them, and you can also tell the software what you want to be shown in each window. You can see this button here brings up a list of the different available windows. So right now it's on 3D view, but I could put UV editor in here, whatever I want. Same with that one. This one's up here, and this one's here. So those buttons will tell the program what you want to show in each of these windows. And you can also get rid of them too. Like for example, I don't need this timeline because we're not doing an animation today. So what you do is you point your cursor right in between, right click, pick join area, and then it asks you if you want to take the bottom window to erase the top one or the top window to erase the bottom one. Because I want to get rid of the timeline, we're going to bring this window down like that. Okay, and I guess the next thing to show you is how to move around. So in this case, we have a couple of objects in here. This guy here is my lamp. If I right click on him, I can then move him around. You need to hold it down when you first start moving. Once you've got it moving, you can let go and not hold down any mouse button. You just move it freely. Once you have it positioned where you want it, you press your left mouse button to drop. So there he is. You can also, you can see we've got these X, Y, and Z axis. If you want to move things more along the lines, you can use those. So we can do that, and then we can move them down like this, move them up, back and forth, whatever, like that. So first thing we got to do here is get rid of this. So we're going to right click on it, press delete, and then left mouse to delete. This guy over here is our camera. You can see it's facing toward the middle here. This point is the back of the camera, and then the rectangle is the front. Like that. So what we want to do is import our skin. So we're going to go File and Open. And ours is in the folder Forum Rig. Now, I hate to say this, I downloaded a whole bunch of rigs over a period of time a long time ago, and I don't remember whose rig this was. So if you see this tutorial and this is your rig, please contact me so that I can give you full credits in the description. Short of that, I apologize for not recalling whose this is, but I will make this available until I hear from the guy, and then I'll link to his rig. In the meantime, I don't like working with the faces because it puts a face on top of your face. You actually kind of have to erase your character's face if you want to use the face. So we're going to go with no face, and because we're using 1.8 skin, we're going to use rig with no face 1.8. That's it right there, Minecraft rig. So you can see right away we put in this character here. This is our new environment. We've got a new camera in here. We've got no lamp currently. Nope. So that's it. That's our character. Now I'm going to close again this area. This is our property window, and this is our UV editor, which is right here, UV image editor. And what this does is it allows us to change the skin that's on this guy. But first I want to show you kind of the render settings. Depending on how good your computer is, this button down here will let you pick anything from just a basic quick for your computer to handle wireframe right up to a fully rendered image that is, my computer isn't really powerful, so my computer just chokes on it. But anyway, I find the texture quality is good enough that I can work with that. So anyway, there he is. There's my guy. Only problem is he doesn't look like me. So what we need to do is change this skin here from the UV image editor window into my skin. So what we do, we go to image and we go to replace image. And this will bring up a window, and we're just going to go into skins, and we're going to pick A string. And there we go, there's me, my handsome face, just like that. So then, once you get your character in there, the next thing you're going to want to do is move him about. I'm going to go ahead and close this as well. I don't like lots and lots of windows open that I'm not using. There we go. So basically we've got our properties window and we've got our 3D environment window, and that's all I need for posing. So if you select this guy's core, which is the bar down the middle here, right click on it, you see it lights up. His right side goes yellow and his left side goes blue and his head goes purple and his core goes purple. So if you need to move the whole thing, you can select what mode this is in down here, and we're going to put him in object mode. And then we're going to press G to grab him. I press G and you can see he lights up. Now without pressing any mouse buttons at all, I can move him. Just like that. Move him where I need him to be. And I can also rotate him. I'm going to show you really quickly. Rotating is based on how you're looking, your position from looking. So if I'm looking straight here, to rotate you press the letter R. So I'm going to press R, and then he's going to rotate it on an axis based on my point of view. So you can see here he's going side to side. And if I turn to the side here and press rotate, he's going to rotate on the axis based on that point of view. And the same thing with above. So anyway, that way you can get the character where you want him to be. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy there. Once he is where you want him to be, we can change the size if we need it. This is, again, your property window, and it's got tabs across the top. And these allow you to select the different things that you want to see the properties for. So if you wanted to see, you can see that's a little camera. It has your render properties. This is the size of the image. Down here is the render quality. You can see it's currently on 50. This one here is an important one. This is the object, the actual object itself. We can, for example, if I wanted to change how big one of the axis was, we could do that. And now he's got super wide. We're just going to keep him at 1 because I don't want to work on a guy that looks like that. Oh yeah, sorry. Mouse wheel to scroll in and out if you hadn't picked that one up. So the last one here is the material. Let's make sure my guy is selected. There. This one here is your material, and this is the material that is covering the wireframed character. In here you can see it's set to character skin. You can pick different skins and stuff. This is also where you can do a lot of the fancier editing on the skin, like using nodes to make things transparent and that kind of stuff. We won't be getting into that today though. So for today we just want to get this guy posed. We want to get him into an interesting pose and get an interesting kind of looking scene. So what we want to do, right click on his core, and then we want to change it from object mode, which is moving the whole object, to pose mode. And then I'm going to grab, I want to move his arm, and remember its movement is based on the position. So you're going to right click into this cube. In this particular rig, the top shoulder cube will move his whole arm, and the bottom cube will just bend and move the arm around. So I'm going to go like this, right click on this cube. You can right click, the same as with moving the camera, you can right click and hold it like this, or you can right click and press the letter G and move it, or you can use, again, you can use these if you want to be really precise with where you're putting something. Like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and move things. It's best, I find it's a pain in the butt. If you click in the middle, it'll sometimes grab things behind it. So what you do is you keep your mouse still and then continue clicking. See how it cycles through the things under the mouse? Right click, right click, right click, right click, and it'll cycle through until the thing you want is lit up. Then I grab that thing, hold down the mouse button, and get that moved as well. So we're going to do that. Then I'll just kind of position him where I want. To move his legs, you grab the boxes at the bottom. We'll move this one kind of forward a little bit. And we'll kind of tilt his body by grabbing in here. Oh, not that much. Like that. There we go. Okay. Now rotating. So let's say we want to rotate it so he's looking up here. What we're going to do, we're going to select it. We're going to press the letter R for rotate. And then that lets me turn, again, based on where you're looking. So if I want to turn him toward me, I'm going to have to go up top, rotate, and turn till it's looking in that direction. Then if I want him to look up, I go to this side, press R, and rotate till he's looking up, kind of where I want him. There we go. Okay, so we've got him. I'm pretty happy with that. I want the camera to be around him here. So in order to see the camera's point of view, you press 0 on the number pad. Don't press 0 at the numbers across the top. You want them on the number pad on the right hand side. You press the letter, or sorry, the letter. You press the number 0. So that's where my camera currently is. So moving the camera is very similar to moving anything else. We're going to right click, and then you can either right click and hold it to drag it around, or we can press G. I'm just going to press G. So we're going to move it over here and up here. Then we're going to rotate it. But I don't want to rotate back and forth like this. There's a second rotate you can do that's actually a pan. So you press R the first time, and then you press R a second time, and it lets you pan. So we're going to pan down like that. And then I actually do need to rotate it. So R and rotate, and then G to raise it up, and R a second time to pan down. I want to look down to about here. G to bring it up. That's pretty good. Okay, so once you're happy with the way it's set up, you press 0 on the number pad, and that'll bring you back out here. So now I got my character positioned, and I have my camera positioned. So the next step is going to be adding a light. So to do that, we go down here to add, and we go lamp. I'm going to add an area lamp like that. And again, moving these things, right click, start to move it, and then you can let go and it'll stick to your mouse and we can put it wherever we want. So I'm going to put it up here, maybe not so close. I'm going to grab this to move it out to the side. That's a pretty good spot, maybe a little higher and a little farther out this way. That's good. Now the next thing I want to do is kind of get that beam pointing toward him, so I'm going to press R to rotate and move it up like that, and then we'll check the angle this way, R, there. Yep, I'm happy with that. So to set the properties of your lamp, you can see it's already selected here. Again, this is your property window, and across the top you can see that this area here is lit up. That's your light or lamp settings. Currently our color is white and we're at 100. I'm going to set this at about 250. Then I want to do a test render. I don't want it to be too big because I want it to render out really quick. So under my scene settings, my render settings, I'm going to leave this at half size. And I'm also going to bring down my render settings to something quick, like 5. That should render fairly quickly. Then we're going to go render and render image. There we go. You can see the shadows in here are really grainy, and that's because our render settings are so low. Once you're happy with it and you know it's kind of set up the way you want it, then you can come in here and you can raise this way up to whatever you want. Basically it's kind of a trade-off. It can take hours and hours and hours. I've had renders take 8 hours before. It's just a question of how much detail you need and how fine you want everything to look. I find that 500 is pretty good for basic stuff. And then if you have like lots of reflective surfaces like water and stuff like that, then you're going to want a much higher, like 1200, even 2400. But that's going to be up to you and how much time you want your computer busy for. So that's about it for getting set up with the basics here, guys. If I left anything out or you have any questions about what you've seen in this video, by all means leave that in the comments section, and I will try my best to answer. I am by no means a pro with this. I'm still learning it myself. Other than that, as I said before, I don't remember whose rig this is. So if the guy that made this rig or somebody that recognizes it can let me know, I'll put a download currently for the copy that I have. But if you find the actual guy, I will link to his copy and give him full credits for it, because it's a great rig. Absolutely fantastic. One of the best ones that I found out there. So that's it, guys. Hopefully I'll get another one of these out soon showing backgrounds and importing Minecraft worlds and all that kind of cool stuff. But for now, that's it, and we will see you next time.